Now let's take a look at what I like to call the brush color picker, but technically it's called the foreground and background color picker, and it's located at the very bottom right here. And I'll go ahead and click on it. Now you may recognize this little doodad from previous demonstrations, particularly surrounding the brush tool right here, and of course the paint bucket tool right here, because the paint bucket tool and the brush tool derive their colors, or what color they're going to use more specifically, from the foreground color. Now behind it here is the background color, and that establishes the color on the canvas. If you have a blank canvas, then this will be the color that will be deposited on the canvas. So let's go ahead and change this to something we're actually going to use here for this demonstration. And I want to create a little bit of a matte for this image of Yosemite. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And then you'll see that it changed right there, and I want the foreground color. Let's just go ahead and throw that as white because I don't want to confuse myself. Now I'm going to come up to File, New, and I don't care what the title is. I want this to be 1500 pixels by 1000 pixels, 300 resolution, 16-bit depth. And then I want the background color, not the white or transparent. I want the background color on my new canvas. Let's go ahead and set OK and fit on screen. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm also going to resize it. I'm going to resize it to 1000 pixels. And then in the process I'm going to disconnect these two layers that show text and my shape. Come back to fit on screen. I'm going to undock this, get the move tool, put it inside the image, hold down the shift key, left click, and drag it in. Oops, made a mistake. Let's go back. And I don't want to drag that layer, so what I want to do is go back to the layers palette, and I want to just click on the background layer. Now we can drag it in. Hold down the shift key, left click, and then drag the image into the new canvas. Now let's reposition this. And it should snap, but it's not, but I'm not that concerned about that right now. So let's go ahead and put that right there. And there you have it. That's how the background color picker works. If I wanted to switch from background to foreground, see this little curved arrow right there? Click on it, and now I have the colors in the foreground that are now part of the background, and vice versa. If I wanted to go back to the default settings, see this little icon right here? Click on that, and it goes back to black and white. Now, whenever I have a mask up here, all right, let's go ahead and put that back to white. Now, if I ever use a mask, click on the mask, and look, it goes back to black and white, because I know my brush is going to want to be black because I'm dealing with a mask here. If I go back to the image itself, then I'm back to the foreground and background colors that I designated. So there you have the foreground and background color picker, or what I like to refer to as the brush color picker in Photoshop CS6.